Hello, friends. I have this page. Oh my goodness. Look at how crazy busy this background is. We have flowers. We have background images. We have, like, it is just exploding. And we need to figure out how to tone down this background. And so I'm going to give you some tips for making a magazine collage on a background that is crazy today. Okay, so first off, I found in an old magazine, Candace Bergman, who was in like one of my favorite, I think it was called Moonlighting. And so I am going to take her head and kind of give her a cute little bob and her hair and make her head a feature. She's like a 5 head. We're going to have to get her a hat or something. I don't know yet what's going on with her. And this is the top of the page. So I may even cheat. Oh, I don't even know if I have to cheat. Then I got some giant eyes for her. So we're going to put some really big eyes on her. I'm going to cut these all out and then we're going to stick everything down together. I also have a peacock, which I've been saving for a good collage, but I thought that that would be fun. Because what we're trying to do, so you figure if that's Candace's head, and then we have a peacock, we're starting to take up a big portion of the background, right? And kind of toning it down. I think that'll be fun. I found Candace a fork for her neck and her body. Look how big that fork is. How amazing is that? So, and it obviously had something on it because I cut this page in half another time, but I thought that this fork would make a great body. And then I have these purple arms, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use his purple arm and her purple arm and make them the arms for this fork. And last but not least that I've kind of picked out for this are these 2 hanging lights. So what I thought is once we can start to see everything, I thought I would make these like the center of a flower or something to kind of take up more and color and paint over what this is going to be. But this for right now is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut these out and I'll be back. I'm back. I know for you it was like 2 seconds, but for me it was probably half an hour-ish. I am going to start to lay out things that I think I want to use in this collage. And it's funny because once I got really going, I realized everything is purple and green, which I do like a theme. So that turned out really well. Okay, so this is Candace. I cut out a whole bunch of flower parts, just shapes that we're gonna put on here. Oh, I made some cross pieces, so we're gonna make some crosses with just some white background thingies. And here's my fork. I'm gonna make Candace first. So the first thing I can do that's pretty easy is stick her hair together. So now there's a gap because it went over the edge of the magazine pages, right? Like into the gutter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this on. Don't glue on your journal. That's not a good idea. And we're going to give that a second and then we're going to cut this. So that'll be nice. We'll probably put maybe a flower in her hair or something. I don't know. Probably just something over here to get that. So I have 2 arms and a fork and a peacock and more leaves. I even brought a little extra piece of green in case I wanted to make more leaves. Okay, so let's stick Candace together. So you could do this. Her eyes are a little offset, but I like to make them sad eyes. You can make non-sad eyes, but I tend to kind of cut closer to their eyes. So I want to get a little closer. I need bigger scissors. That is too small for what I'm doing here. All right. And I'm not good at eyebrows. I hardly ever do anything with their eyebrows. And then I want to make sure, a couple things, that I keep enough space around the eyes that I can cover up Candace's eyes, right? And then I cut the nose out. So we're going to turn her eyes down. Okay. All right. I feel like we can take another hunk off her nose, maybe a little off the top. Okay, there we go. Oh, cute. She's cute. Now we need to make a decision. I tend to like to cheat this, so it kind of sort of looks like it could work. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut right along her hairline. I start on the top and then I'll come up from the under. And I'm going to cut right along her hairline, and we're going to tuck that one eye in. And you could try to cut it smaller, but I have just found that I don't have the patience for that. So see, we're going to get her eye in like that. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, that's kind of cute. Do we need to move her eye over a little bit? Because think about it. The edge of her eye would be by her nose. I don't want her to look too weird. I think somewhere in there, it'll be fine. It will be fine. So now I'm going to glue her eye on. This was a fun magazine. It was from the 1980s. And she was a super model back then. Oops, glue. Glue, 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 glue. All right, let's see where we want this side to go. Maybe right there. I'm trying to also take up a little bit of room on her face. She's got a very large face. All right, I kind of like where I have it, so I want to sort of get it down, and then I can come get this corner down here, which I know wasn't getting covered. Okay. Glue, more glue. So much glue. All right. There we go. Nicely done, Candace. Okay, now let's put her on her fork. And we need to see how much fork I have. Oh, I have plenty of fork. Okay. So I'm thinking, let's see how her peacock fills in. Oh, look, he's got his little feet. Oh, okay. So this will fill in kind of what feels a tiny bit weird, but I'm also considering whether, oh, I should glue this on. Hold on. I should glue my peacock together so I can do a little trim on him in a minute. Okay. And we're just gonna glue his wing on. Don't glue on your journal. And I can't decide if I want to cut her hair. So let's first fix this weird thing and give her a rounder head. But I'm almost thinking I might want to give her a cute little bob. I'm going to give her a cute little bob. So I'm going to go, so we know that it would go to her earring, because this is over here. We can see her earring. So we're going to go up and around to about halfway up her earring, the same way this one is. And then I'm going to use my big scissors because I want to give her some curls. So we're going to come in here and we're going to just boop, 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 give her some curls, give her some curls. Go. Oh, that's cute. All right, so now we're going to do that same thing over here. I didn't cut that very well. I feel that's something I say every time. I'm like, oh, I did not cut that very well. And now we're going to have to see if this giant amount of hair on this, oh yeah, I like the giant amount of hair. Okay, here we go. All right. Get your peacock over here. Let's see. If you're doing composition, you kind of always want your focal point to go into the page. So if I did her this way, she's looking off the page. So we're going to move her over here. She's coming over here. That's her hair. Okay. And we're gonna, do we want her to do a tippy head? I think a tippy head. And on her neck. Okay, I love that. Very good. Okay, so this is where we're gonna put her fork. Most times I would make a whole paper doll of her, but when I use a giant head, a lot of times it's, oops, gosh darn it. We don't really want to glue that down until we figure out what we're doing with this peacock. Do we want her? No, we don't want her over there. So she's going to be over here. Okay, we can put her right here. So cute. Do we want to see her little feet? I think we do want to see her little feet. Okay, so I can glue this down. I don't have to go under it with the peacock. Fork get a little, kind of want my fork to be relatively straight and her to be a little tippy. Okay, let's get her big old melon on. And then I was thinking while I was cutting things out, which is something I do. All right, give her a tippy head. Her whole head is going to be, if we go really tippy, I can get it all on this page. And then we won't have so much of a trouble with the bend. Oh, I don't think I glued down the top of her fork. Great. Me. We'll come back in if we need to be. All right, now let's get her peacock on here. That's the next layer with his little feeties. Here we go. And we want him to be right about there. Oops, I'm gonna cut his little, don't use your good scissors on your glue, but I want to round off that one little bit where we stuck it together. Okay, dink-a-dink-a-dink. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I'm going to pull up the top of this for right now because I think I want my flowers to go behind it. And I just glued that peacock to that pencil. All right, so now let's think about what is happening here. So I have these white things and then I have white crosses. And I do think I want to make some white crosses. So I am going to, and crosses have the same size legs, right? So let's have a couple of these. And it doesn't matter how big they are, just so long as the two sides, like that's going to make a little one. As long as the two sides are the same length-ish. And I don't really care about whether they're the same width. I just need them to be the same length. And we are going to use one of our crosses to help explain why we don't have the other part of that. Okay, I need two more. I'm going to put one up in here. I'm going to put one down here. And these don't have to be fabulous. I just make crosses like this because I'm terrible at making crosses, drawing them. I see some of the gals and they make beautiful crosses. See, now that one's too long, so it wouldn't make a cross. It would make a T and then it looks weird. So if we just cut that down a tiny bit, we can make some crosses. I'm going to put a cross on this corner. I'm going to put a cross up in here. Let's see, maybe put it, no, I don't want it to overlap exactly. So let's put that there. I'm very gluey today. This guy up in here, we went over here, right? Let's bridge that line. And then this guy, over here, I want to give him a leaf. So we're going to put a leaf over here, right there, to help add to the peacock sheet. Just because it's green. I could have just put a green circle, but I have leaves cut out. So, and I might have green leaves around some other places. So that just to me made sense to try to fill in a little bit of this, because part of his wings are missing. They must have been behind something else. Okay, and I have so much glue. Did we glue this? Okay, we're good. All right, now I want to make some flowers. Where are my flower parts? Oh, there they are, on top of Candace. So I have two flowers. I have a red flower or an orange flower and a purple flower. And then I have some green leaves. Green leaves, purple flower. Okay. Oh, I got my arms. You know, for like, I don't know, half a year, 1 year, I forgot to put on arms. So now I'm all up in arms. Oh God. But I like to make sure I have arms now. And this is crossing the peacock, so all my things are touching. If you find that you think your collages look a little weird and disconnected, it could be because you don't have everything touching. And that is one of the things that I try to make sure I do, rather than having Candace, the fork lady, on this side and then the peacock on this page and this and that. If you put the things together, then they look more cohesive. Okay, so now I want to think about this, because I think I'm going to do, because purple and green are our predominant colors, but then I have these orange ones. So that's going to be the back one. And then don't forget, these are going to hang down. So, and I didn't test this, so we're going to try and see if I can make flowers out of this. And I don't know that I want them to be, like, I almost feel like I don't want it to be realistic. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Okay, and then I'm glad I have some extras because I'll put them down here. Okay, so we're gonna just stick these on the back of my circly thing that I'm gonna have hanging down. And I'm not trying to make this super, which side goes on? The front. I'm not trying to make this super beautiful or perfect. So if we're doing 6 though, we'll have 2 across each way. That's how circles work. Okay, don't glue on your journal. It's a really bad idea. I have glued so much stuff to my journal. That one feels like it's really big. Really, really big. And then I don't want to mess up. I want my strings holding it up to be in front. So I have to make sure, oops, wrong side, that I glue, see, I want it to look like this is holding up the flowers. So I have 2 of those. They're lights. I like it. I just think it's cute. Like, it's just another little something that's fun to add dimension to your piece. Could you have just made flowers with no lights? Absolutely. Well, I have to make my other flower before I figure out what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'll be right back. Okay, this one wound up having, gosh darn it, wound up having 7 petals. How cute is that? Go. Oh, there's one. Another purple. So now we need a couple leaves in here. Not a very good leaf. Oh, that'll work. So this kind of over here and that over there. And I feel like one more, maybe down, maybe 2 more. I have lots of leaves. All right, yeah, this one's gonna go in between here. Uh-oh. No, I don't want him to compete with my peacock, so we'll put that leaf there. Then I can put, there we go. I can put a leaf on this side. Stop. Maybe one up at the top. Yeah, one up at the top so the leaves are not all lined up like little leaf soldiers. Let's let those dry for a sec. And then I feel like, don't I have any more white? Did I use all that white? Nope. Here we go. Okay, I feel like I want to make another flower for one of two places. I don't know yet where it's going to go, but I'm going to make another flower. Well, looking at this now, I know where it's not going to go, I guess. Although, could we? 2 leaves left, 3 leaves left. I thought of putting a flower in Candace's hair. I don't love that. Like, it's just, I'll probably cut out a really pretty flower for her hair because she's the feature. So then, this means that I'm going to use the purple leaf too. I can make a little flower for down here. Oh, isn't that fun how the flower petals mimic the shape of the peak? Almost like I tried to do that on purpose, but I did not. Okay, I think that's going to be confusing. We're not going to add a purple leaf or a purple flower thing. Flower. You can't tell it's a cross. But if we do leaves like this, can we? Nope, I just want 1 leaf. Because then it's getting on my, that guy. Can you tell I can't remember what his name is? Peacock. So we're just going to fill that in. We're going to put this right here. Maybe turn it a little bit so you can kind of sort of see it's a cross. Oh yeah, you can see it's a cross. That goes there. And then this is going to be underneath. And that's going to be on top. Glue under there so we don't have layers that aren't glued together. And glue our little stringy things. That's already glued. Look at me pre-gluing. Okay, let's not hose this up too bad. You move for a minute. Okay, so I want this to go off the top. There we go. And I want my peacock dude to be, whoops, stop it, over the flower. So much glue me. And this one can go a little bit over Candace's hair. And I want to make sure that it looks like it's hanging. Oh, I don't think I glued the hangy bits. Nope. Okay. These were a pain to cut out, and I almost broke them a million times. And if I'd have broken them, it wouldn't have been any big deal. I'm going to break this one because my finger's stuck to it. Because I have a glue superpower, and I would just glue it back on. Oh, and then we gotta, this is sort of kind of stuck now because somebody pulled it up before. Me. There we go. Now, the first thing I want you to just look at it again now. And remember, the reason we started this was that the background was crazy busy. And I think what you can see is that as you add things to the background, the foreground things do start to come out, but it's still really busy, right? Like there is a lot going on here. So one of the things I think I'm going to do is a lot of times I'll doodle on top of the flowers and leave like a lot of the flowers open. But what I think I'm going to do this time is, like, if I make this, because don't forget, our colors that we're using are purple, green, and like an orange yellow. So those are the colors that I'm going to use in the rest of this piece. I'm not going to add, like, we have teal in here. We do have kind of a mauvey purple, but I'm not going to add teal and make it look like, you know, colors threw up on this. I'm going to stick to, from here on out, I'm going to stick to purple, green, and then like, those are blood oranges, so kind of a red-orange sort of theme. So I'm going to go work on this, and I will be back to show you the finished one. Oh my gosh. So I love this. So first off, what I want you to do is just look at this and think, is this a busy background? Because that's where we started this, right? Fixing a busy background. Oh, I see somewhere I forgot to doodle. So I'm going to have to go up and finish that doodle with a black Sharpie. I don't think anybody would say that this is an exceptionally busy background anymore, because we have gone through and covered it with interesting things, right? Like, it's not just a, oh, let's cover up this background, and it's not, let's make it invisible either, right? I didn't just like go, okay, well, I'm going to paint over all of the edge flowers. Instead, what I did was make it negative, right? So you can still, they became the circles, they became the stripes and the backgrounds of the harlequins. And so that visual interest is still there. It's just not the thing that you're going to look at originally. So what you're going to look at originally is the peacock and this lady. Then you're probably going to go to the flowers. Then you might go to the fact that she's a fork. Then you might go to the background or maybe the crosses and see those. So that's how you can create a hierarchy and distract from a visual background that is kind of crazy without having to like just paint over the whole thing, because there is interest in there. There is matching colors. So I took this color and painted it 2 times, 3 times around the thing. We have a teal here. There's a teal in the, there's quite a bit of teal in the peacock. I drew his body bigger because I wanted him to be a feature. I think he's really, really cute, and I wanted him to be part of the main collage. I'm just having a time here gluing my whole collage back down. I don't know what's going on, why I was such a bad gluer. Part of it is because I did paint so much of these background pages, and painting them makes them a little bit more loosey-goosey. So I hope you love this one. I think this one turned out great. I'm super proud of her. She started out as Candice Candice Bergen. And I think she turned out looking like the gal from Adventures in Babysitting. I can't remember her name. And it's almost possible that those are her eyes, and that's why I'm feeling that way. Hopefully this helps. Tara Jacobsen, Artsy Fartsy Life.